Plaintiff Michael Ferguson says after his mother died, he went into foster care, but his sister, the defendant, stayed with their father. Michael claims when he confessed to his sister that he was a homosexual living with AIDS, she told him that he deserved to die for choosing to be gay. He's suing for unpaid loans and emotional distress. Defendant Peggy Green says Michael has done nothing but wreak havoc on her family. Peggy claims Michael constantly degrades her and her children, and she denies ever making fun of Michael's sexuality. Peggy's countersuing for unpaid wages.
Prove your case.
So I'd like to give you a little bit of background on my sister and I. There are 4 children. She is the youngest of the 4. Our mother died when I was 6 and she was 5. There wasn't a very close relationship between myself and the rest of my family. I was one of the children that my father did not want. I'm the only one.
How do you know he didn't want?
He gave me to social services. He kept the rest. I went into foster care.
Gotcha.
I'm the only one of his 4 children that never went to jail, never ran away from home, didn't get charged with indecent exposure by being caught in a car with a boy.
That's not true, Your Honor.
I didn't run away to Waverly, New York for 3 months. I went into 2 foster homes, a youth home, finally a Christian home, which I graduated from high school. They awarded me a scholarship.
Ugh.
They hired me the next day to be a counselor to that home, which my sister eventually ended up being in. I was her counselor.
You kid.
No, he wasn't, Your Honor. He just worked there.
But you ended up at the home where he was?
Yes, I did, but we weren't in contact. I was in different places than him.
Well, that's a success story. Congratulations.
And I went on to college, did the best I could, went 3 years, and then went to 2 years of court reporting school. This is only the 8th time in 30 years I've seen my sister. I never knew where she was. She went into the military.
You knew she was at that counseling center.
No, she graduated from high school at 79. She went into the military.
Okay.
From that point on.
Okay.
None of us knew where she was. She would just show up 10 or 15 years later.
You want to give me some background before we get to the loans? Go ahead.
Well, as far as the background between me and my brother, we've always had a rocky relationship. He always
Why?
thought, well, because he always thought that he was my boss, and I was supposed to do everything he said. And, you know, me being the baby of the family, he always even told me up front that he hated me because I got to have what I wanted. Well, you know, that's how life is, and I moved on. But he has the audacity, you know, call names and stuff, because call me names, call my children names, you know, like Mud Shark, which...
Your Honor, I have never said that.
I have it on my cell phone. I had it. My kids even said...
What does he say again?
He called me a mud shark. He's called my girls tramps. He's called me a tramp.
I don't know what that is.
It's a white woman. Basically, it says white trashy woman who predominantly dates black men.
And I have never said...
And all my girls, mud shark. All my girls... Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Is that a real frame of reference among the Caucasian
Yeah, he called and left
culture?
it on my cell phone. All my girls
I'd like for her to prove that, Your Honor.
A mud shark.
I'd like for her to prove that I've called and left that on her phone.
I'm ready to fight.
I am.
So am I.
That's
No,
really
I don't appreciate all the stuff he's did.
I've never heard it
Yes,
because
you
I've never
have.
used it.
You left it right there. What do you mean you never heard
Prove
it?
it.
Prove it. My girls all heard it.
Your girls are full-grown women living with their
left it
mama.
on my cell phone, and I let everybody hear it.
Your Honor, this is a woman with 10 different baby daddies in her family, okay?
How dare you? You know what? You can sit there and talk all you want about me, but see, I raised my kids. Where's yours?
Really?
To keep telling me how to raise my daughters.
They're all in their 20s, living with you, too.
What big deal? They're with me. You got a dog.
Yeah, you do, too. Where's he at now? Which man are you dating?
I don't know. Where's your dog at? What did you say?
Your Honor, this woman got married.
I'm just letting you all vent so perhaps you can come together. Once you get things out,
No, Your Honor. It's
when
never
people get things out, then they're able to reconcile.
That will never happen.
to
As far as me telling her what to do growing up, that has been impossible since I was in foster homes and she lived with our daddy.
Yeah, okay. No. Every time I don't go his way or do what he wants or his so-called counseling.
You have 10 children by different guys?
I have what?
10 children
I have 4 girls.
There's 10 different baby daddies from her and her 3 grown
grown
daughters.
baby daddies with 4 kids?
And there's not a father. You have 3 different baby daddies. Your oldest daughter has 4 different baby daddies. Your second daughter has 2 different baby daddies.
You know so much
and your
about
youngest daughter
business.
has 1 different
You have
baby
any
daddy.
children, sir?
Your Honor, I'm gay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you are.
Well, you could have adopted children. You don't have to. That's not none.
Oh, I know, but she
He's
says
got a
we shouldn't
dog.
be allowed to have children because we would raise them gay. This is what she's told me. She even told me not to go in the military because gay men can't be in there because in a combat situation, I'm not going to shoot at them. I'm going to look at my soldier's butt.
What?
You told me that.
No, you making things up. I don't know where you're getting this
Most
from.
of the
Your book
gay
is wrong.
men I know, they'll whoop you better than the straight men.
They sure will.
So most of them I know, they'll cut you, whoop you, and everything else.
But she said we shouldn't be in the
When
gay
I grew up in
men
the projects, we were scared of gay men. Seriously. Thug thugs, gang members, we'd fight everybody but a gay man. Didn't mess with gay men. All right, sir, let's get back to the unpaid loans and emotional distress you're suing her for.
A
How
little
did this
further, in
come about?
1984 is when I told her I was gay. She contacted me from Fort Belvoir, West Virginia. I went to D.C. From that day forward, I've been called every derogatory name that you could think of.
Untrue.
She says I chose to be gay.
You did.
I also have AIDS. She says, and she
That's your
said, I
choice.
chose to have that. I deserve to die. She doesn't care whether or not I have enough money to pay my medication. I can no longer work. I'm also visually impaired. My sister, there's nothing wrong to keep her from working. When her eldest daughter, who also wrote me a letter calling me gay, turned lesbian, by the way. I got proof of that.
What's the big deal? I don't understand.
They call me the
Please,
bad
Your Honor.
names.
He's saying you're prejudiced against
I'm not prejudiced
homosexuals and that your daughter is one. That's what he's saying.
I'm not prejudiced, Your Honor,
That's
against
what he's
anybody.
saying.
Yeah, I know. That's what he's saying.
Your Honor,
He said you've been that way since he admitted his sexual orientation in '84.
No,
you were prejudiced toward him, called him names, referred to him in derogatory manners because of his sexual orientation, and lo and behold, your daughter's gay.
Never did it. And I, in fact,
All right,
found out.
I'm just telling you what he said.
And I just want to make something clear, though. I went in the military in 1979.
That's why
when he
folks
told
need
me.
to be careful with all that.
Your Honor, and her saying she never said any of that stuff about me being gay and she cared, I have evidence, a letter dated May 13, 2009. Can I read you an excerpt of that? I would also like to mention that just because you're dying from health issues brought on by your actions, those were your actions and no one else. I could care less who you're with or what you're doing. It's your life, you have to live it. I have never thought twice about it since you informed me a minute ago that you favored men more than women. Once again, that's your choice. You will die a lonely man because you don't have much of any family as it stands now.
That doesn't state that I'm...
Quiet.
And it continues.
And that's part of your emotional distress claim. Go ahead.
And it gets even better. Is that AIDS virus making you hallucinate all the things you said? She claims I have AIDS in my brain. And she passes this letter around to her grown daughters and grandchildren, but I'm the troublemaker. This is addressed to her.
I let my daughter see because he made accusations on my phone, Your Honor, and always calling my cell phone.
Why don't you let your daughter see that?
All four.
She's 28 years old.
Let me just clear something up regarding some of these comments you made, because we hear this in society a lot, that folks bring AIDS on based on their own actions. You got some of these very, very Christian conservative preachers. I've seen them while flipping through the channels. And AIDS is a curse against homosexuals by God. It is brought on by the activities of the person. Well, what about blood transfusions? Is that a curse based on a sin? When your child needs a transfusion, which is another way of contracting HIV/AIDS, is that a sin too, Mr. Preacher? I'm going to stop preaching because I don't want to compete with the other preachers because I believe I can out-preach them. But anyone watch this show, the judge do a lot of preaching. I'm practicing. Anyhow, sir, I just wanted to make that observation so that when you hear that and everybody else start thinking that, think about blood transfusions. Anyhow, let me give you the definition of emotional distress. The legal definition is an extreme and outrageous action that causes someone to experience severe stress. And that letter and all those things telling this man he's going to die and making reference to his illness and, you know, reminding him that it is terminal at some point. By the way, people are living up to 2 decades with HIV/AIDS.
24 years.
24 years. Great.
I can't
24 years. And
I can't work anymore, but I'm still living every day.
Right. So he could outlive you, ma'am. And all these folks that are saying that somebody has a terminal disease and they get a curse and they're going to die, they're subject to outlive you. So I believe it's emotional distress for you to make reference. Tell me about these loans, sir.
These loans are somewhat outdated. I had no way of proving it because of her moving around.
When?
They go back to 96, 95, 96. However, because I know the statute of limitations ran out, I had no proof until my sister wrote me the letter dated May the 13th, 2009, indicating she owed me the money.
You have that letter? But
I do.
I don't know how much that's going to help you. Read it to me, sir.
Okay. She puts $315, which was the total. $315, which is what I billed her after she paid $75 in November of 2005. It was $390, less than $75, leaving $315. She wrote down $242.
Ma'am, do you believe you currently owe him?
I don't believe I owe him nothing.
Why?
Because at the time the money was even given to me, Your Honor, he knew that the fact that I couldn't pay him back. I said, I'm a single mom. There's no way I can pay you back.
Do you want to pay him?
I did it so he would stop bothering me.
Do you want to pay him?
If I had the money, I would, but it's not
When
a
you
fact
get the money, do you intend to pay him?
No.
Why? You said
Because
you
it was
want
never-
to, and you said the only reason you won't is because you don't have the money.
I would, but not the sums he's talking, because he made up a lot of sums on his.
How much?
He gave me a $65.
How much do you believe?
Total is $250, and I already gave him a $75 so he'd get off my back.
From
So how
$390.
much would you pay him were you to be able to afford it in the future?
I would pay him the rest of it I could, Your Honor.
And that's
I would.
about, what is that,
125.
250 minus 75? 175. All right.
Can I show you where she
You
actually
just
admitted?
gave us a new agreement saying that you'll pay 175. So that's a new agreement, not the old one. All right? So I'm going to have to enforce this new agreement. I couldn't enforce the old one, but thank God for you, a nice, decent, honest
But, Your
woman
Honor-
who said I'll make a new agreement to pay him $175 when I get it. Your counterclaim, $4,000 for unpaid wages, is for what?
I went up there to help him out, to be the so-called person that can't stand him. When he had to have eye surgery because he said something was going on, he had developed some infection in his brain or whatever, he had to get eye surgery. I went up there. I got up my time, found somebody to watch my grandkids, who I adore being with. At least I have them.
There
I
you
love
go
my
again.
No, because I can't take the fact that he sit there making those accusations. I don't have any hostility towards what his preference is. I don't.
It's in writing.
I've left it where
From
it was
what
at.
I've heard, ma'am, you do.
I don't, Your Honor. I really
Now,
don't.
your counterclaim, did he agree to pay you?
No, he didn't agree to pay
then
nothing.
you don't have,
And
you're
Your Honor,
not
that was-
entitled to any wages.
That was one
He
day.
agreed-
She wants $4,000 for one day.
2
It was
days.
Cataract
2
surgery.
days.
22
You
hours.
get paid
22 hours.
$2,000 a day, ma'am.
Yeah.
Let's
2 hours
move
on a
on. Sir, I'll grant your emotional distress claim. $2,500 is what you've asked for. I'll grant you the new agreed to loan, $175, and therefore, ma'am, I'm ordering you to pay that. Have a good day. That's my judgment.
I've never said anything. You go up there and lie. Do you feel good about yourself now? Do you feel good? No.
A
Did you
woman
get the
that
pity
has
from everybody?
$7,000 a month
Did you get
and
pity?
so- and
Did you get your pity?
welfare money.
Look at your head. Look at your head.
She's got 10
Always
different
thinking
baby
that
daddies.
everybody's more
All the kids
educated
live
than
there.
you. Everybody's more educated.
You know what?
Yeah, what?
Pick up
You
your
go
chin.
ahead.
You're stepping on it.
Well,
I'm done.
yeah, see, you always want to talk smack.